Hey everyone, this is Jono from Veracity with another video in my video series. This one's sort of on a data manipulation topic, exporting and importing xAPI JSON files. I was going through my videos and I realized I haven't talked a lot about, other than forwarding, which was a few weeks ago, how you can back your system up or manually move data from one LRS to another. And there are several options. So in the next few videos, I'll likely cover one or two more of those. But today we're going to do a pretty simple one, exporting and importing xAPI JSON files. Let's get into a demo and I'll show you how this works. Okay, I'm in a sample LRS called Demo 2 here, and under Management over here on the left-hand side, right where we were at Statement Forwarding before, right above that is Import and Export. So I'm just going to click on that, and it's going to bring up a couple of different options for us. So not Restore a Backup, not Download Backup. I'll talk about those later. Not Harvest Statement. Maybe that'll be a good one for next week, actually. We'll see. But we're going to really spend time on export statements and upload statements. And we're going to do this export statements in a couple of different ways. So I'm in Demo 2. Demo 2 has a data set. I can just click Export Statements. Yes, do I want to start a download of this? And click Yes. It'll save a file here, Demo 2 JSON. So let me just save that out. And that was it. So we saved a file of JSON statements. Let me see if I can quickly open that up for you and show you what it looks like. All right, coming up here in one sec. Very messy right here. Let me select all and format that. All right, and now we're looking at, as you can see, a bunch of, in this case, sample JSON statements. So pretty cool stuff. That did all of the data in the system. So that worked out pretty well. I could just upload that. If I went to that same file, I'll caution you, if you go to do this and you export statements and then you go to import them right into the same LRS, it's not going to work. It's going to give you a message that things succeeded, but everything's not going to be in here. Here's why. In this data, you'll notice we have the IDs of the statements. And you can't have the same ID in there twice. So the LRS is being smart. It's looking at it and saying, oh, I already have this data. I have this statement. I have the same data that's in this statement. I'm going to go ahead and say that succeeded, give the user a check mark, and all of that data is still in here. So, at a minimum, if you want to re-import it and have a duplicate copy of everything, you want to get rid of ID. You probably should get rid of stored too. So you can just kind of delete these ID and stored from every object that's in there. Anyway, we're not going to do exactly that anyway. I'm not going to re-import it back in because I want to show you one other thing before we do that. We have spent some other time on the statement viewer. Super useful tool. That last thing that we exported was all data. But let's say I just really wanted a subset of the data in one of those files. Let's say I wanted, I don't know, all of Test Testerson's data because I was going to back up Test Testerson's data and move it to another system. So now I did a filter here. Click the filter button. Now I'm only looking at all of Test Testerson's data, basically one page. What I can do under Options is say Export Statements. And it'll give me another JSON file, and just like the other one, I can download it to the system and we're good to go. So that's no different. If I were to open it up, it would look exactly the same as the last one, except instead of all data from the Demo 2 LRS, in this case, it's only the data that is in this view, and in this case, I have a filter based on it being just Test Testerson's data. I mean, you could do Test Testerson terminates only on this course, and in fact this would be one data point, one statement, but you can really set up your filters in any way you like. I'll put a link in the description on some other sessions I did that deal with the statement viewer, so you can see how to use these tools to do some filtering. But yeah, so two ways to export those JSON statements. Again, right through the management tools here, import and export, or by going to the statement viewer, configuring it, and clicking options, and then downloading the statements. Let's go back into import and export. So here, there's upload statements. If I click on that guy, you can see it's just going to ask me to choose a file. I can choose whatever file. I'm going to choose this Learner Portal demo because this is one I set up before, and it's not data that's already in this system. So if I click upload, all right, it imported. It was just 12 statements that are in there, but it could be a really big file. And if I go into the statement viewer, I've got a bunch of data. Before, when we were in here, it ended with Testerson, and now you can see we have these new data points for Bob Weir and Brent Midland and several other folks. So our import of xAPI data worked. Really what those files are is they're just a JSON array of xAPI statements. So, there's nothing really special about it. You're just moving data around from system to system. Okay, so importing and exporting, a lot of different ways to do it in the system. This one really just focused on an xAPI JSON file, an array of xAPI statements. It's pretty much the simplest case, but it is really powerful. You can do a lot of stuff. You can move data around. You can move just an actor or specific person's data around. You can move data for just a course around. You can move it into any LRS that you have in any Veracity system. So even though it is simple, it is pretty powerful. All right, great. We're going to go ahead and call it for today. If you liked this video, please subscribe and click that thumbs up button. Thanks for watching and have a good one.